And we're joined now by one of the truly legendary names in the game, She Be Stinging.
Hello.
Laila Ali, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
It's congratulations, of course, on your Hall of Fame induction. Walk us through what getting that phone call from Ed Brophy was like, finding out not just that you were going into the Hall of Fame, but that you were going to be one of the first modern female fighters inducted.
Well, it's always an honor to be recognized for your hard work and dedication to the sport, and which I loved for so many years. And you know, I can remember back when my own father told me not to do it. It's not for you. It's not for women. Didn't want me to do it. And you know, a young girl, 18, you know, and your father telling you the greatest, don't do it. So it took a lot of courage, and you know, I look back now, like I said, of course he apologized later and said I was wrong. So that was amazing, and I would love for him to have been able to be here. But I know he's in heaven watching down, really proud, so I'm happy.
How old were you then when you decided, oh, maybe I want to like follow in Daddy's footsteps?
You know, it's funny because I didn't think of it as following in his footsteps back then, because I saw Christy Martin for the first time. I was watching a Mike Tyson fight. Didn't know women's boxing ever existed, so I didn't even think it was something for me because I hadn't seen anyone actually doing it. And when I saw her and Deidre Gogarty fighting, because they were on a major undercard, I was like, oh my God, how did I not know? I was a fighter. I've been in some fights. I've been in some trouble. And I was like, I could fight. I could be a professional fighter and not get in trouble. And it was just like, anyone who knew me well was like, I could totally see you doing that. But I had no idea what it would take. I had never participated in sports, even in high school. So it was a major leap for me. And, you know, I went for it. So.
Did other people want to fight you because you were Muhammad Ali's daughter?
I mean, before I was a boxer?
Yeah.
I think that I just wasn't someone who would shy away from trouble. And I had a confidence about myself that, you know, kids would take that as you think you're better than, because I had the name brand, or my dad, so they already have this preconceived idea, and then I had this attitude about myself, and I was willing to fight, so got in a little trouble, yeah.
So, of course, you did go on toward the end of your career and her career to fight Christy Martin.
Yes. Was
there any element of sort of an out-of-body experience of, this is the woman who drew me into the sport in the first place, and now I'm sharing a ring with her? Was there any strangeness to that?
It was crazy. I remember when I got the call from Christy, like, that she wanted to fight, and I was like, no, Christy, I don't want to have to knock you out. But Christy, I mean, the fight happened because people wanted to see it. And it was the two biggest names in boxing. It was, you know, an opportunity for us to both make some money. So we fought at a catch weight, but, you know, she's physically so much smaller than I was. But, you know, still was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was cool. It was a cool opportunity. Yeah.
Was it easy to step away? Did you feel like you'd done everything that you had to do in the ring? Or?
It was tough to step away, but easy at the same time, because in my weight class at 168, it was the least competitive weight class. Right. Usually when you got girls, most of them were just overweight. They weren't a lean 5'11", 168 like me. Right. And, you know, so it made it really challenging to keep training at elite level with Floyd Mayweather and Roger Mayweather and, you know, Buddy McGirt and all these trainers, and have to face fighters that you felt like wasn't going to be that exciting anyway. And then there were some girls in my weight class that we never fought. We never had the opportunity. They didn't want to fight. So, you know, it was really frustrating for me. And that was the thing. It was a bittersweet end to the sport.
Right. And you didn't say her name specifically, but of course it was Ann Wolfe was someone that a lot of people wanted you to fight. I'm sure you thought about it. I'm sure she thought about it.
There's multiple girls. So if you think about it, at the time, you had Ann Wolfe, you had Letitia Robinson, you had Natasha Ragosina, all undefeated fighters, never fought each other. So everyone always wanted to say it was me, but why didn't they fight each other if it wasn't me? You know what I mean? So, like I said, it got really frustrating for me because I was the name to call out, but not always the name. But people wanted to get paid a certain amount of money. If they were going to take that L, or possibly take that L, they thought they were supposed to get paid, but the money just wasn't there. So I'm really happy to see women's boxing at a place where all these these lightweight girls don't have to be calling me out to try to get some attention, or girls bigger than them, and that they can have competitive fights and make some money. It's not that crab barrel syndrome that only one person can be the face. You know, because it's just it wouldn't take off as a sport that way. Super excited about Serena Taylor fight.
I was going to ask,
I've been a fan of Katie Taylor since the first time I laid my eyes on her when I commentated the Olympics, women's boxing in the Olympics for the first time, and she was amazing. So was Serrano. So hopefully we'll see a rematch for that fight.
We were talking to Christy about that earlier, and as she said, one of the great things about it is afterwards, people weren't talking about it being a women's fight. It was a damn good fight.
Absolutely, and that's what you want. That's what you want. And I think that's what I've seen many fights like that over the years. When you're a fan of women's boxing, you would have the opportunity, but that's the first time the world got to see it. But there have been competitive fights like that, especially in the lighter weight classes, for many years.
I gotta ask you, 2-minute rounds, do they need to go for women?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree that it needs to go. I mean, first of all, there's no reason for it because women can physically get in just as good a shape as men. 2 minutes just is not long enough.
Yeah.
It's not long enough. That's why a lot of times you see women's fights starting faster. They feel this hurry because it's like that bell rings. You're like, dang, right when you get somebody hurt, then they get saved by the bell or whatever the case may be, and you're not going to get that respect, right, to be able to go that distance. It should be the same. There's no reason it shouldn't. We're fighting women. We're not fighting men.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that a frustration for you as a fighter, having to get it all done in these 2-minute rounds? Or
I was able to get it done, so it wasn't a frustration for me. I mean, I didn't make that my focus. I had way too many other things to deal with as Muhammad Ali's daughter. People not respecting me. People thought I was afraid of Ann Wolfe. She wouldn't fight her. All these things that were untrue. That I wasn't like, oh my God, we need to. I was like, this is what we're dealing with. This is what I'm going to focus on. But I always trained for 3-minute rounds, so it really made training 3-minute rounds, sparring with the guys, sparring with world champion men in the camp, made the fights easy for me. So, yeah.
We recently had the anniversary of your father's passing, and I remember when it happened, and we all felt as if it was kind of like our leaders somehow had gone, and obviously you must think about him a great deal. And when you think of your father, obviously you know so much differently than the rest of us. What do you think about when you think of your father?
My father was an amazing human being, just all the way around, and just his gentleness and kindness towards other human beings, his humility, his compassion. Those are things that really stand out to me. And I think what really made him so special is that he was willing to take a stand without an entourage, didn't worry about the money, didn't worry what came from it. It was all about what was about doing right. And a lot of times you don't see that type of integrity. You don't see that type of faith and conviction nowadays. And there'll never be another Muhammad Ali. But yeah, I miss just the sweet scent of his skin, giving him hugs, that warmth that you felt. People literally, within his presence, would just cry on his presence. Just the energy. We're all energy. Yeah. So his energy was amazing and off the chart. So that's what I miss. Wow. But he's in a better place now. So I'm happy for that because he was suffering. It was hard to watch. Yeah. So I never wish he was back here. I believe that he's where he needs to be. We'll see him again. Yeah. And, hopefully he's sending us prayers because we need him down here.
He's probably keeping them all regaled up there.
Yeah. We need he's his old self again. Yeah. Dancing, talking, flirting with the ladies, eating ice cream. Definitely flirting with the ladies.
But now you have a plaque in that same little room that he has a plaque over there in the Hall of Fame Museum. That's got to be a pretty darn cool way for this to end.
It's nice. And, I've always been very confident in myself and knew that I would get to a place similar to this, I should say. I'm not going to say I knew I'd be inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame, but I was very confident in my career. But I will say that it is a surreal feeling because I remember like yesterday, that day that everyone was like, you shouldn't do this. Why are you doing it? And a lot of women will tell you that same story. I'm not the only one. But I think that being that people feel like I could have done so many other things, besides boxing, they're like, why boxing? Right. And it's in my blood, and I think if I was a boy, they wouldn't have been asking those questions, So what can you say?
Right. Well, I think being inducted into the Hall of Fame was a pretty good validation of the choice that you made.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yes, I'm so happy about it. Thank you so much. So honored also. So many other amazing fighters here, and there will be more to come. So, there's out of the thousands of fighters that there are, few make it into the Hall of Fame. And, I'm totally honored. Yep.
Well deserved. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us and enjoy your whole weekend here.
Thank you, fellas. All the best.